My first kiss was on a trampoline when I was 14, and it was the middle of the night in this random big estate in England. It was pretty nice. First bad date. I was on a date that wasn't a date once, and that sucked. Like, that was awful. I was just like, I was convinced it was a date. I was so excited about it, and I think at the end of it, he like punched my arm and was like, "I'm so glad you're my friend." And I was like, me too, man. Yeah, this is great. So it was my first bad non-date. I failed in comparison to who you think I am. You always wanna talk it through. I don't care. Let it be, go on, cry, sing along on your own. Alcohol and nicotine. I don't drink because you look so fine. I'm still thinking about the songs. I'm like, sorry. I'm still stuck in there. I'm like,
there's that Huey Lewis and the power of love. Anthony and John's
Anthony, the Fistful of Love. That was my song. Nice. That was my song. Thank you. That was my song.
So, you did split. Oh man, look at this. It's a battle.
I don't like this guy at all, clearly. Yeah,
you were walking your dog, and a car started following you?
Yes, I was wearing heels for the first time because I had a party that I was trying to practice for, and this black car started following me. So I freaked out, picked up my dog and ran, and then a guy stuck his head out the window and said, "If you stop, you won't regret it," which is like every horror movie ever.
Yeah.
But I did stop, and it was the head of a modeling agency, and it all worked out, but I do not suggest that people stop if a car is following you.
Yeah.
I feel like just keep running.
Good public service announcement. Yeah. Do not stop no matter what.
I mean, I definitely believe in the law of attraction. I definitely believe in not playing small with the universe, you know, taking your place and saying, this is what I want, and this is, you know, how I'm going to achieve it. But I definitely think you don't get anything just by wishing. You have to wish, and then you have to add dollops and dollops of hard work. I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. Yeah. Thank you very much for having me.
Joy, hello.
Hello.
Oh, look at
How's it going?
I love that because that brings out the joy.
Exactly, sunshine.
I'm always amazed when I watch films like this, how much we've evolved in a way as a culture, because everything was so proper, so prim, the way you lifted a fork, how you ate your soup. Would you have been comfortable in that time frame?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I had like minor anxiety attacks every time I picked up a teacup, so possibly not. But I do love the organized dances. I would have loved that. It's just so romantic and so much fun that everyone knows what they're doing and they know all the steps. I'm really bummed that people don't do that anymore. That being said, Emma's such a vain character and the clothes were so amazing that if I was wearing a coat that had a really incredible back, I would find myself delivering my lines kind of over the shoulder to show off the coat, because that's the sort of girl that Emma is. So it was a nice like into the character.
That has never happened to me. And I've walked around Harrods a lot. And mostly people go, keep walking or you'll regret it.
Shoot Johnny's coverage first and then, you know, put some fake blood on me and then shoot my coverage. And then as we were shooting it, my nose started bleeding. Oh exactly where Autumn wanted it to go. And yeah, in real life. And Johnny was freaking out and Autumn was like, oh my God, what do we do? And I was like, you keep rolling. This is amazing. This will never happen again. Just like, I wasn't very fearful. I would go into the woods looking for witches. Like, I wasn't afraid. I was obsessed with, and I still am, I love magic. And I was obsessed with this kind of idea that, you know, in the forest behind my house or something like that, there are fairies or, you know, witches or whatever. And so I'd just
This
go
is
out.
why she would be a bad Puritan.
I'd be a terrible Puritan. This book was a thing, and I was never aware that my eyes were far apart. And then someone tagged me in a picture of a fish, and they were like, this is you, because your eyes are like here. It became common knowledge in the playground that if you wanted me to catch a ball, you had to throw it at the side of my head. Because if you threw it straight here, I'd just be like, oh my God, what? What happened? What's going on? It takes a lot to get me angry, but when I do get angry, I just emotionally shut down and I get really cold and my words are very pointed and vicious and low. Yeah. It's like scary. It's not fun.
Look at this. She's already laughing. She can't. Oh,
I'm sorry.
She's so. You can do it. It's fine. It's fine. Compose yourself. Compose yourself.
Which of the roles are you most recognized for?
That really depends, because I change my hair color a lot. So for a couple of years, I've been able to get away with, oh, you look just like the girl from The Witch, but with dark hair, or you look just like the girl from Split, but with blonde hair.
But do you tell them it's you?
No. I'm usually with my family and like having ice cream, and I'm like, yeah, I get that all the time.
What kind of ice?
I'm a really big hugger. I wouldn't necessarily think it's a superstition, but I like to start my day off with a whole bunch of hugs.
Her first kiss on the screen was weird.
It's a very compelling scene where you had to have a kissing scene with him, and I know that you had trouble doing that scene because it was, I mean, you're dealing with such an intense actor, and you don't even know who he is at that moment.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I had such a hard time with this scene, because I mean, James. But I think he had a much harder time because he was playing a 9-year-old boy kissing me whilst my eyes were wide open and I was very clearly uncomfortable. And it's, you know, an older man kissing a 19-year-old completely eyes wide open and just being sort of weird about it. He handled it very well, though.
Yeah.
Like, he had a hard time with that.
You're also describing how I kiss now.
The worst thing about acting is I don't really sleep. And I never have the same, like, timings as all of my friends. So I'm always, like, calling them at 3 o'clock in the morning, which makes me really popular, obviously. First kiss. I was 14. I was on a trampoline. I was determined that I was not gonna get to 15 and not have been kissed. Like, that was not going to happen to me. Like, my life was, no, that was not part of the story of my life. I felt pretty good about it afterwards. I was like, yeah, trampoline, 14, yeah. I feel good about that in my life story.
Mia was kind of making these slightly, for want of a better word,
Orgasmic. There we go.
Yelps.
Thank you very, very much. This is... Wow.